I'm obviously Mr Hillman. Welcome to my house. I'm going to do a little series of science lessons for you from my home using stuff that you can find around the house. These are going to get released as videos every week until we're back at school. So I hope you're staying safe. Hope you're all happy and still learning. And today we're going to be making a bouncing egg. So I'm going to tell you the things you'll need for this experiment. You will need 1 or 2 eggs, a jar, but make sure you take the label off first actually. You'll also need something called white vinegar. Now this will be the hardest thing to find. You might have it at home, you might need to buy it. If you've only got brown vinegar, regular vinegar, you might be able to use that as well, but it's not quite as good as white vinegar and you need something to pour it with as well. Okay, so the first part of the experiment is very, very simple. All you've got to do is very carefully get your egg and put it in your glass jar, okay? The reason I say carefully is if you get your egg and just go like that, it will go and you'll have a broken egg. You don't want a broken egg. So the way I did it with this is I turned my glass jar over and I just slowly pushed the egg in and then slowly tipped the glass over. But basically you need that egg unbroken in that glass. Then what we're going to do is we are going to cover this egg with some white vinegar, which is just here. I want to make sure that the white vinegar completely covers the egg, and then we're going to leave it, okay? And then I'll do a second part of this video explaining what happens to the egg. But for now, you will just be leaving it once we've done this first bit. So get your vinegar, get your egg, and just completely cover the egg in your white vinegar. Then put it somewhere safe, nowhere near pets, nowhere near little brothers and sisters. Put it somewhere out of reach, because this won't be very tasty to drink. And we're going to come back to that in 24 hours, so tomorrow. Check back after 24 hours. And it should look a little bit something like this. Note there's something at the top just starting to form there. And the egg is looking a little whiter. Just get in focus there. There we go. Wow. What does that look like, Jude?
It looks like holiday.
Looks what?
Holiday.
Looks like a holiday?
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by that.
It's holiday.
Jude, what can you see?
I can see coffees.
Jude, look in the jar, what can you see?
I can see a drink.
Yeah. You might just want to top it up with a little bit more white vinegar. And then you check again, same time tomorrow. Okay, so 48 hours in and all the shell of the egg has basically just come off. And what I've literally just done is I've just sieved out some of the gunk from the top and cleared out some of the vinegar. And what I'm going to do is wait another day and then see what's happened after 72 hours. And then hopefully my experiment will be finished. Okay, day 3. This is what I now have. Simply tip out your vinegar, and lo and behold, you've got yourself a bouncy egg. Just don't drop it too hard. So obviously this is an experiment, and so there's some science behind it. And what is the science behind it? Well, I can tell you. Vinegar is a weak acid, and the eggshell is calcium carbonate. The weak acid, over time, reacts with the calcium carbonate and produces something called carbon dioxide, which hopefully you all have heard of. These produce the bubbles that we saw on the egg earlier in the experiment, and these cause eventually the shell to just break down. And after 3 days, the egg just becomes a rubbery sort of ball. And that's how we get a bouncy egg. For an extra little fact, you can see on the diagram there's something called the chalice. This is something that holds the yolk in place in the egg, a bit like pulling it with rope and just keeping it in place. That's why the yolk always stays perfectly in the same shape until an egg is burst. Hope you enjoyed today's or this week's science experiment. Really looking forward to doing another one next week. Bye for now.